Hi everyone. I have a lot to report on for my makeup date. I have a lot of ins, unfortunately. So let's start with the outs. That way I can get those out of the way and then talk them in. So I finished up not finished up. I'm getting rid of this packaging for the La Roche-Posay Triple Repair Moisturizing Cream. This is terrible packaging. I don't know if we talk about this yet, but goodness, the product itself is okay. The pack, it's so thick though that this pump packaging does not work. And so it settles down, and then once it's like down to here, it just stops pumping because it's so thick. And then I ended up just having to dig out all of it. So I did end up decanting this into another bottle or into another jar and using it from there. But yeah, this packaging is dumb. And not worth it. I don't think they're even selling the size anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Very good value size, but terrible, terrible packaging. All right, I did finish up my Sephora brush cleanser. This was good, but honestly, now that I'm using sponges all the time, this only lasted me about 3 months. So that was a little bit disappointing. So I have another box over here. I'm gonna toss my empties into so that I can log them for projects and stuff like that down the road. I am going to declutter this Sephora sponge that I got from Glambot. This was good. The shape was good. The texture was good too. I actually really liked it, but it was just really hard to clean. I don't know. There was something about this concave bit that I loved because it like fit my face really well. It's just really hard to clean. I always felt like it was dirty and there was some other thing to clean out of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one go and move on to my next set of sponges, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll use them for what they're worth. I finished up I have a report on that one. Let me do that one. Let me do this one next. I did finish up my Bobbi Brown, what is it called? Vitamin enriched face base. Yeah, it had like a weird fake lemon scent to it, so I won't be purchasing the full thing. I can see how some people can find it refreshing and things, but honestly, it didn't do anything super duper extra for me. For me to, and obviously scent usually is like the first thing I look to in terms of like, does it stay or go? And so that one won't be something I'll buy full size. Okay, and then from here, I don't think, oh, here we go. All right. So I decided, okay, so I finished up my Sephora primer sample, and it was in this little jar, so I'm gonna just show that and throw it. Oh, I finished up another brush cleanser. This is the Sigma and Sephora Sig Magic brush shampoo. I like that. That's good. It's a good mashup there. Anyways, I should use this more or less to wash my makeup eraser, like the washcloth thing, and because this left like a really weird film on anything I washed, and so that was really only what it was useful for. So yeah, I think I got this on clearance, so it's probably not sold anymore. I did end up, if you haven't seen yet, but I did end up making, I think it must be in the other thing here. I did end up making a new lip palette. Sorry, I have like all my things spread out between the different bags and boxes that I was ready to talk about. Here it is, of course, the very corner. I did end up making a new palette using my MAC samples that I talked about before, and this was really fun. I uploaded a little short on it. I think you can see either on YouTube and on Instagram. I uploaded it both. But yeah, it was really fun. It had the shades Mare, Velvet Teddy, and Ruby Woo. So all really classic colors. And did I just gouge it? No, not terribly. But this is my little lip palette now. So as you can see, these are all really muted colors, and then bam, like you get Ruby Woo, which I don't see myself using a ton. But honestly, the majority of the palette is like the other colors. I re-frankened everything that was already in here. Whatever was left is on the bottom here, and then Mare is kind of like that shade above it, and Velvet Teddy is the more warm shade above that, and then of course Ruby Woo is the bright red one. So I'm looking forward to see when I'll pull into a project and get to use this, but I'm excited to experience that. And then I did have a little bit of Ruby Woo left because I had more product than I could fit in there, and I ended up putting into my lip palette and pushing it into the other red shade that was in here. But it's kind of funny now that you look at the two, it's like super super bright. And what's funny is that this palette was made in 2014, which is almost 10 years old. And then this formula is like the newest MAC formula, so it's like literally 10 years apart, which I think is hilarious and is kind of, funny in its own way. And then I did end up basically retiring my Estee Lauder Little Black Primer, specifically in the tube. And what I did is, it was already kind of like rubbing off and stuff like that, so I ended up just repurposing this and decorating it. Sorry if you can hear the background, my husband just turned on the faucet in the other bathroom. So I did end up decorating it with some of my nail vinyls or nail stickers, and it's cute. I kind of just want to keep it around just because I love the stopper from this, and just the shape of the bottle was nice. And I don't know, I might decant it or something, but I ended up washing it and drying it out, which I know most people don't typically do, but I like this enough to do that. What I ended up doing was scooping out all of the remaining product and putting it into this little jar here. This is a 3 milliliter jar, and this is how much product was left in that tube, which is crazy to me. And so, so I ended up sanitizing it with a little bit of alcohol, and I can see myself actually using it for just using in the future. I've now have a little mascara fan brush that I've been using, and I think that this way of using it might actually make this a really, really flexible product. Um, and so, yeah, just some things that are happening in my collection. um, all right, now to go into all of the ins into my collection, which I'm a little bit embarrassed about. I still, I think, have one more thing on the way, but gosh, I am literally surrounded by products that I got into my collection, which is a little bit embarrassing because it's definitely more ins than outs again. So you hear screaming in the background. That's my toddler is going a little crazy. And so, yeah, first things first, I just filmed a Glambot haul. Glambot, if you don't know, is kind of a used makeup sale site, and they have some pretty steep discounts. I did end up picking up one of their bundles, which I should have known it wasn't gonna be like super amazing, but it is what it is. I spent my money on it, and I will bear the consequences. But you can see more about my thoughts there. Some of it has value. I was surprised by a little bit of stuff, but overall, I probably could have done without. That's my thing. And then I did end up picking this Embryolisse La Creme Fluid. It's a 16 ounce, almost 17 ounce bottle of their lotion, moisturizer, however you want to call it. And I'm trying to figure out the scent, how much I like it or don't like it. It's like kind of on the border for me, where it's like, oh, sophisticated, and then like, oh, that smells just a little off. So I need to figure out my thoughts about this. Unfortunately, this came and I think the cap unscrewed a little bit, so it exploded a little bit. So yeah, my first impression wasn't huge. It's great, especially on the scent. I mean, a lotion's a lotion to me, so I'm not super picky about the consistency. But yeah, I am getting close, especially since I decanted the other bottle recently. I'm getting close to finishing up whatever I've left, so I'm wondering how that one will be pulled into the mix. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to start using it by the end of the year. All right, and then I started using my new mascara. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I do love that it fits my favorite mascara wand in here, which is the MAC Hot and Naughty, which I wish they still made because it's genius. It is, as you can see, this looks clumpy, but the top part screws off and basically like cleans off the stopper like that. This is so messy. I'm like so scared of what's gonna happen right now. Ugh, okay. And I'm just gonna shove that back in there and clean it up later. Okay. I think crisis averted. But basically, it's just a genius mascara applicator, and I love that it fits into these Lash Paradise tubes. And unfortunately, I bought a whole new set of like empty mascara tubes and like put some of this product in there, and I decorated those as well, which is super cute. I have one over at my makeup corner right now, but I basically split it into thirds. And so so yeah, this one and yeah, unfortunately the size doesn't quite match, so I can't use this on this, but whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna experiment to see if I like this version better or I like the pot version better. But either way, I think I'm kind of going through a makeup experimentation phase of like just how to make a mascara last longer, because having nearly 7 milliliters in this big tube doesn't make sense for me to use only in 3 months. I hope that made sense. I explained it more in my other video, but basically I did my experiment. We'll see how it goes. And then I did pick up a new setting spray. The one I have now is getting probably only a few weeks like left. I have one like 1 ounce backup, and then I just picked up the elf one because I've actually never used this. I've never been drawn to this packaging. Like packaging and aesthetics is such a huge thing for me, and I've never actually tested to see if I like it or not. The packaging seems so basic, but honestly I got this at a pretty good price. This is their 4 ounce one, and I think I got it for like $2 or $3 with the discounts I had at CVS and stuff like that. So I'll probably end up decanting this into the other bottle that I like better with the better sprayer. I don't know what the sprayer is like on this, but we'll see. So that came in, and then I did make a Cover FX order. Where did the rest of it go? Oh, in here. So I don't know if you saw on, I saw on Instagram, but on social media, Cover FX is like 50% off. And I was like, wow, this is such a good deal. Like, how often do you get high-end makeup for 50% off? Like, barely ever. So, I mean, of course, Sephora just came out with their 50% off stuff, but the entire site was 50% off. So that was kind of earlier last week, I think. And they had this SPF duo, which for me, SPF primers is kind of my weakness. I am looking for the right one. I probably will never find the right one because I have never used the same one twice. But I want, it's such like a new thing to me, I think, to have both an SPF in, like an SPF in your primer and not have to layer them. Or, you know, right now, sometimes I only use SPF as my primer, and I wonder if I can, like, you know, up my makeup game if I use an SPF primer. So anyways, that's the fantasy I have. But essentially, they have an SPF primer, and they actually had a duo of them. One of them is their SPF booster drops, and one of them is an actual SPF 30 primer. Let me open them up so you can see the packaging. I mean, kind of like what you would imagine. This one's like in a squeezy tube. It's 1 ounce. And then this one I think is also in 1 ounce, which is pretty good size for booster drops. And I find this packaging very impressive that they also made the little squeezy dropper silver as well. Isn't that fancy? So, and this one's glass. So fancy. So I think retail, each of these is $45, which is crazy to me. So it would have been $90. And then they were selling the set as $70. Is that right? Yeah, 70. So when you half that, that was 35. And when you do the math, it's like, you know, $17 each, which for me, especially for high end, to get to experience high end and a product that I have fantasies about, not a bad deal, I think. So we'll see if this is actually worth the $17 for me or not. And they were also having a promo of having a free gift, and it was just like a mystery free gift. And it ended up being the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, which I've never tried. And this one is in the shade Celestial, which potentially could be a shade that works for me. It looks bright. It's not the, it's like the second, like the brightest one is Moon, which I think is like their hollow one. And then this one's like their second brightest one, which I don't know if it'll work for me, honestly. I could potentially see it, especially if I mix it in as like a base or even in with a primer. That way I can kind of like cover it up and just more luminous than it is, you know, bright highlight. So we'll see how this works for me. I just got another highlighter in my Glambot haul too, and I also have one highlighter in my collection, the MAC Soft and Gentle, which also feels too bright to me all the time. So I have a lot of highlighters to like figure out what to do with, and that will be either a journey later this year or early next year. So yeah, for these, so $35 for these three, honestly not a bad deal, I would say. I really didn't need this, so but it was nice to grab a deal on these two, and we'll see how that goes for my collection. Ugh. Sorry, things just flew everywhere as I was trying to drop some of the packaging. All right, and then lastly, I made a Sephora order. Oh, I almost thought I was going to show my address there. I'm not. But anyways, it just came in today, and so I just threw it on my desk and just going to talk about it. A few samples up here. Oh gosh. Oh, there's more samples than I thought there would be. Was there? Kind of. Okay. All right, I'll talk about these first. So I got a 100-point perk. I chose the Clarins Multi-Active Jour Niacinamide and Sea Holly Extract. It is a glow boosting, line smoothing day cream. All right, it might kind of have some primer aspect to it, but 5 milliliters. I've been trying to up my little like sample type stuff because I am planning on swimming a little bit more like regularly week to week. Oh, this is really interesting packaging. I've never seen anything like this before. Basically, it's like a little thing right here, and then it almost looks like it's open, but it's not because the bottom looks like that. Sorry if it's not focusing. And then it just like snaps off to use it. That's really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if you have, but anyways, I hope you kind of got the gist from, I don't know how blurry it was, but essentially I'll have to, 5 milliliters of these to use up. I just got a little bit in my hand and it's nice. Oh, wow. It is very scented, as any high-end moisturizer is. Ooh, all right. I will have to use that up quickly because that scent is way too strong. I got, I don't know if I actually asked for this. This is the Hourglass, it's a sample of their liquid powder foundation. Wow, liquid powder. That seems interesting. And then also their Glam Glow brightening treatment. I also didn't ask for this, so thank you. One of those. And then, oh, this one was also one of the, this is a Dior foundation, and they just had like a little sample pack. So I can definitely see myself adjusting. Like right now, my foundation is a little bit too light, so I can see myself using, especially the lighter ones to adjust it. A little bit too dark for me, so I'll be using the lighter ones to adjust it. And we'll see what I do with the darker ones. I'm not really sure yet. And then I did have a, was this the 100-point perk? No, the Clarins one was a 100-point perk. Then this one was like a code that you can get with it. And this is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Balm. I've used one of these before. I think this is in the shade Rose. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Wow, this is like so cute. I'm trying to figure out how much is in here. 0.7 grams. This is tiny, tiny. So when I saw it, I thought there would be more in here, but obviously I am duped. But oh my goodness, look at it. Wow, it is so cute. And looks like you can, I mean, that's a decent amount of product for such a little tube here. It has I think this part's metal, and I'm very impressed by this. I have full intentions of putting this in my purse and using this as a purse lipstick. Wow, this is so cute. I don't think I can get over it. This has made my day, despite everything else that I've talked about. So okay, and then of course the actual things that I bought is I got this one was 50% off. This is the Sephora line, their Nourishing Moisturizer. As I showed you, I used up a sample one, and I really don't have a full-size face moisturizer in my collection right now. I do have a few more sample ones to use up, but I'm hoping that this one will be nice to throw into the mix a little bit. No scent, at least, well, I haven't broken open the seal yet, but I mean, it's sealed. That's nice. It's kind of like it's not a super glossy, it's like a plastic, but it's mattified kind of thing. So I will see how that is, but it was 50% off. So given that it was like the value size and it was 50% off, I think it came out to like 12 bucks or something like that, maybe even less. But anyways, this is the last one, I think, of the bunch. I'm surrounded by products right now. This is the 1-2 Punch by Dry Bar, which is a water activated 2-in-1 hair wash, which is kind of like a shampoo and conditioner, I believe. This is it's water activated, so it's actually a powder in here. Is it open already? No, it's sealed as well. But I have been really wanting to try out more like water activated type products. It just makes a lot of sense to me. Like, why am I paying for water to be, if I can just add it myself? And like I said before, I'm starting to swim a lot more on a weekly basis. And I think just having something like this just seems a lot more easy to transport around, rather than, bringing and refilling little bottles of shampoo all the time. And given that like this is a powder format, like this is going to last me a long time. There's 80 grams in here, which is huge. So yeah, I just want to try this out, and I think I did buy it full price. But I've been finding that a lot of this type of formulation of products is a little bit more on the expensive side, just because it's not like a mass produced product yet. I don't think it's super popular out there. So yeah, something like this is a face cleanser, obviously already has some it already has some water in it, so just cut out the water just makes a lot of sense to me. So anyways, we'll see how this is. I It'd be nice if I don't also have to bring over a face cleanser too, you know, to the swimming pool, but we'll see how that goes. So, there's a lot. There's a lot sitting on my desk right now. I wish I could like flip the camera around and show you exactly what I'm looking at. I'm a little embarrassed by everything that I see in front of me. This is probably the largest haul that I have made in a long time. And if you saw my video from last week, I also had plenty of things that came into my collection too. So in many ways, this is going to, I'm just thinking kind of big picture, this is going to completely revamp my makeup collection in many ways. Um, you know, I have plenty of stuff to work through, but I think this is going to like be a lot of other things I have to bring, you know, put into consideration now. It's going to really kind of, now the balance is a little off. And so I think I'll have to like not reformulate, but like, you know, revisit kind of how things are going. I think a handful of these things will end up going, you know, into like a bag for my buy nothing and see if someone else will snap it up. And some things I'll just really try to work through. So I will do my best to add what I can to my beauty bank or my Project Lip Lab fund and kind of go from there and let you guys have an update about that. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching. This was a little embarrassing to show you guys, but I also want to be honest, like this is what's happening with my collection. And also just to document for myself, like, Jamie, you messed up this week. Not in the worst way possible, but you could have done a little bit better with your money and not brought in so many things. So now you're responsible for it. Good luck. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.